chat. There's a video. 55 minutes, Trackmania Iceberg explained. Guys, do this in chat if you want to watch it. But Romex, thank you for the 200 bits. Let's react to the video. There's some parts in there that I probably do know, but we're gonna watch that now. Like, you can see the layers. There have been 2 parts before that as well. So let's go ahead and watch it. Let's see how much I do know and if I can get, or I can give some more inside information about the stuff and all of that, you know? Maybe there's something that I am a bit more aware of, exactly, but let's take a look. Come on. So I have Margie's stream open on the other side because she starts to build a map again. Let's go. Let's watch it. Okay, I'm just delivering.
Hello and welcome to the third part of this trilogy. If you haven't watched the 2 previous videos, I really recommend you to go check these, because they give the minimum information to fully understand this one. Without taking any more time, let's finally deep dive into the bottom of the Trackmania Iceberg. So,
the bottom of the Trackmania Iceberg. Let's go. What do we have here? Oh my dude. This one here already, ooh, gives me weird goosebumps. This guy, that was one of the first, we're gonna come to that later. Oof.
We started the last third
this one
of the
is,
dive. The information here will start to be strange. We passed the whole iceberg and the abyss is getting closer and closer.
Texture holes.
Yeah, Tom would be completely triggered now.
All the maps from Nadeo, some rare maps contain holes in the textures. Some of them are caused by update bugs on BO3 on TM2 Stadium or DO2 on Canyon. Some of the holes are directly caused by a block with this issue, like the beach blocks on Turbo. Even the fake water on Trackmania Original and Trackmania United can be considered
riolu
as
Taiwan?
texture holes. Canyon has many texture holes ranging from missing
Taiwan!
faces to just some missing vertices. Example of missing faces are the red booster concrete block when placed on the ground and the banked wall ride corner when placed on top of the long concrete tunnel roof. An example
just
of missing
clipping, right?
vertices is the tunnel corner clip. Blocks have 2 versions, a lower quality version, which can be displayed once the player is at a certain distance away, and a higher quality version for when closer. Ironically, both versions of the blocks have the issue. Some other holes are caused by block clips overlapping.
I mean,
even though the blocks can be legally placed in the simple
how it is, right?
The clip placement isn't considered.
Just a clip there.
You can get clip
oh my god, this looks so awful.
Posing is cheating.
Slow-mo is also cheating.
Players have been shadow banned from Trackmania Turbo, making them unable to submit their time to the leaderboards. The only known cause of this is when a player pauses during a run that
I remember that, I think on 26 or whatever that map was called, that Jairul hunted. I remember that because they could release a lot.
Record. Luckily, these players can still collect both medals and super medals while being shadow banned.
100%
in Trackmania 2, pausing won't shadow ban a user.
I think it was
However,
random.
driving a top 10 time with a pause causes the time to be removed. Pausing in these games is beneficial because it allows for a consistent 1-tick release. While uncommon, there are a handful of tracks where pausing is super effective, such as Lagoon D11 and Turbo tracks 1, 28, and 46.
Aufpassen, Turbo.
Le gigantesque éléphant. Le gigantesque éléphant, also known as just Elephant,
dude, this guy,
is a player known for his behavior.
In
fact, many people remember him for his naive or aggressive way to talk to people. He used to come on servers and was described as very annoying, but in a way that you couldn't tell if he was trolling or not. He was obsessed with some pro tech players like Spam and constantly asked them to play his tracks.
This was after a True Talent Cup, I think. This was one of the first Spam streams I watched. I think this was in 2015 or 16. I watched that one. I was there, guys. So I was definitely there when Tim played a map from him.
Play his tracks. He even did some 1v1s with community players to prove he is better than them. And when he
and he also hunted like one ESL map. I'm not sure, from Wally, I think. How was that one called? He was hunting one map. Not there. That was it. It's Nutcracker. It's even in here. Try beat my PB on ESL Nutcracker. It's even in there. It's
better than them. And when he eventually lost, he blamed it on the game. He got banned many times from Trackmania, TMX, and Twitch. Nadeo banned his accounts, his IP, and even his hardware, but nothing could stop him from coming back.
This guy was
Many
insane.
players also described him as a good guy inside, with him attributing his odd behavior to mental problems.
So, my verdict on this guy, I think he was a troll. The problem was I was very, very like active with Kripke at this time, and when he just started to insult the mother from Kripke, I was like, yeah, well, it goes too far. So, yeah, this guy, well, he has to be a troll.
Moon and Toy environments.
Pretty.
Moon and Toy are unreleased environments that are found in the game code from
Trolly moly.
Trackmania 2. No footage has ever been officially released of either of these two environments, and they remain non-existent. It is assumed they were scrapped early in the development process.
Wrong flags and cars.
Belgium, mod check.
With a game series aiming to be as international as Trackmania, there are bound to be mistakes with the flags and the official cars that come with them. Most mistakes go unnoticed unless you look carefully at them. Here is a non-exhaustive list of the most obvious fails. In ESWC, the German car has the Belgian flag on its number plate. In Nations Forever, the Brazilian flag is upside down on the right-hand side of the car. This is partially fixed.
I didn't know that actually.
2. They flipped one of the flags on the car, but not all of them.
I didn't know that the Brazilian flag was
arms present when they shouldn't. Examples of this include Luxembourg and Venezuela. In the game files for Trackmania 2, the Republic of the Congo is mistyped as COG instead of CGO for its flag. In Trackmania Turbo, the Gambia car has the name of another country, Gabon, that was left by accident, just because the two names are similar.
Yep, cock, dude.
Hidden blocks. In Trackmania United Forever,
what's the title actually?
There were hidden blocks in coast and desert, the most notable of which were the
maybe we want to change the title.
blocks. These are mostly normal platform blocks, except for that the center of them is very bright and has
that was a real video about that.
Another hidden block is the coast render cube, which is a small mirror block without any collision mesh. There were 3 variants
desert blocks
of
are cool,
a desert
though.
downhill block that increase its
Dude, look how steep that is. Look how steep that is. Like, what the hell is this?
For each variant, the steepest of which was essentially a wall. All of these blocks were discovered in 2008, and before Trackmania Unlimited was released, this could be accessed using a program called Challenge Edit, which was
with Challenge Edit, you know what you had to do? You had to open the program, place one block at a time. Close the game, I think even. Then open it again, see if it was placed correct.
Early forms of block mixing.
Yeah, we're not watching with the boys, but that's fine.
Stadium physics.
In Trackmania Nations ESWC, like in most Trackmania games, there is a bench replay feature that the game renders in order to calibrate settings automatically according to your graphics card. However, the bench ghost in ESWC is unlike any other, as it has physics that are...
Why are there so many riolu clips, by the way? Riolu? Are you still here? Are you involved in this video?
...are a lot different to the stadium physics we know today, and are closer to base physics. If you would like to give this physics a go, there is a video linked in the description.
Yeah, I know.
Dev World Records.
I know.
In most of the Trackmania games, if 2 or more players have the same score on the leaderboards, the first player to achieve it will be placed as first. This works not just in Time Attack, but in other game modes as well. In TMUF on the platform campaign,
not puzzle.
Example, there are leaderboards for the number of respawns.
You know, if you have 0 respawns
to beat a
on a very easy map,
there are thousands of tied 0 respawn records.
Yeah,
since the first player to achieve 0 respawns is on the top of the leaderboard, many platform maps have Alanoa, a developer.
So it had his name, but yeah.
At Nadeo as the #1 spot.
Typos. Across all Trackmania games, there are a lot of typos in pretty much every language. While the studio is French, there are French typos in TMNF, such as Felicity.
But also, like, if you have, there's one in German, which is like if you have insufficient coppers, it's ungenügend, and they just put an H behind it, I think.
Dion, meaning congratulations, where a T is missing. Same for pro-dial instead of profile. In Trackmania,
it's like but it's in the German version.
Credit, you can find Buznies, a couple of double spaces.
Yeah, something like that. There was definitely a typo in there. That's what I know, but I'm not sure if it was like this or something else.
Official Nadeo communications sometimes still contain some minor typos.
100%.
438A-0.
That is a meme.
A-0 is the first track in Trackmania Nation ESWC and consists of a start block, an S-curve and a finish block. This track being extremely
like 439
is considered max by the Trackmania community as a whole, right? With the absolute minimum time being 4.39. In all 3 main stadium games,
there were some
ESWC,
April Fool jokes
TMNF,
about this one,
TM2
but I think a Taz was doing a 438, right?
The only 2 videos claiming to have 4.38 are jokes from known players.
Yeah, Roland one. Dude, the world record hunting from Roland. The world record hunt from Roland, dude, 10 out of 10 serious. The one from Stadium C1 really inspired me to hunt Stadium C1 and I got the world record on this map, or like the official one. So good videos.
Are jokes from known players. However,
good guy.
In 2021, with the release of the task tool, people started to wonder if an 8-0 run could be brute forced enough for it to reach 4.38. A few people tried and the idea was dismissed as well. But a taster named Glitched believed in a 4.38 and was probably the only one
what
to
a
do
copy of message
He started
that
around
is.
September 2021, and while he was constantly told by the community that his dream was impossible,
imagine doing
he actually managed to
that.
make an 8-0 task with a time of 4.3899993988964741, proving it possible in TMNF. The best times are all at 4.390, so the 4.38 has been theorized.
Dude, should we hunt some A0, guys? A0 hunting stream?
The Coast Zoopslide.
Anyone down?
In the coast environment, it is possible to perform a trick known as the Zoopslide by placing your car at an acute angle, that is to say below 90 degrees, similar to how bug slides are performed in Stadium. Unlike Stadium though, brakes are not required to perform the Zoopslide on coast, and you can also throw in some tap steering to avoid losing control of the car. This trick is used on rare occasions to get sharper turns on grass.
Nadeo map's thumbnail change.
Bird, you think so? Like, I'm not sure, like, how many... Dude, you have seen so many 9s there. I'm not so sure about that.
In the TM2 games, if you open the Nadeo maps in the editor, you can make some changes, such as changing the mod textures loaded on the map to a snow theme.
I'm not so sure about that.
The author of the map will remain the same. This means that on the campaign menu, the thumbnail for the map will actually change to accommodate for what the new map looks like.
Interesting.
Riolu uploads after...
Yeah, that was a clip that he scheduled.
Just scandal.
One day after the cheating report was published, a video suddenly appeared.
Why does Virtual have this part? Why does Virtual have this
channel? While many were anticipating a response to the cheating allegations, the video was in fact nothing but a short clip that was scheduled to be uploaded a few days earlier. And while he never addressed the cheating scandal, the comments and likes to dislikes on this video definitely reflected what people were thinking of him at the time.
Shootmania,
good focus, good focus.
With the release of Mania Planet, Nadeo announced a collection of 3 games,
Trackmania,
Questmania, and Shootmania, with the environment shown in the original Mania Planet trailer being Shootmania Cryo. Shootmania would eventually release with the Storm environment. And nothing official has ever been published.
My god.
It was meant to be set in a insanely snowy
Space
environment
TM,
with tunnels and underground mapping capabilities. Not much besides some files like these ambient sounds have been found.
Ah well. Sounds like an MMORPG to me.
Cheaters in competitions. Most cheaters that have been caught were cheating
offline,
once, but some had dared to do it during live competition. The most infamous case is from the player Zerko. The story is set around 2014, when Zerko started.
There was also this one video, I think from Virtual, about one person cheating somewhere else.
To set insanely good times on tech maps. His skill didn't go unnoticed.
He also cheated.
He even
I don't remember his name though.
EX3. However, this didn't go well for too long when players started to question his times. On July
I just remember that he had a video like in 2017 or 19 or something like that, because I binge watched a lot of Virtual videos, and he just did a video about a single.
THC Solo Cup 3 was played in time attack mode on a server, and Zerko tried to qualify. After an intense battle for first place on the map Blackmind, Zerko set a time with an abnormally fast sector. Pro players like Coens tryharded for hours.
Coens? Schmaniol, listen, it's Kuhn!
to be this sector, but after analyzing the gameplay itself, it was clear he was using a boost.
The most German pronunciation.
Parts where he shouldn't. Zerko's time was removed, and he eventually got banned after this incident. There's another case in TMNF back in early 2017, where the player Strohbär cheated during an online RPG time attack competition.
Okay, there he is.
Was caught using no wall friction, which made him not lose any speed on landings and wallbangs. On the 5th January 2017, Virtual uploaded a now unlisted video exposing.
I watched that video when it was not unlisted.
Topjanek's new lunatics.
Strohbär.
This entry refers to a quote-unquote social experiment being done by a notable Trackmania community member. The player created a new Discord account and impersonated an old legend called Topjanek. He was known for creating the Lunatic Extreme map series back in 2008 to 2012, which is one of the most
legendary
popular
maps
series in TMNF.
Oh my god, this was like the time when I also played with like those boys, but I was too bad, so I didn't get any world record. Yeah, like with the non-scrub.
Topjanek quit the game shortly after building his last Lunatic Extreme and hasn't returned since.
Legendary video.
2020, when he supposedly came back with a message in the official Trackmania Discord. He basically just explained his absence and said that his hard drive died, which means that he lost access to all of his old accounts. Following that, he quickly started building new Lunatic Extremes and had 11 new maps ready, which he had community members validate for him. After that, Sinto organized a server with the 11 maps and made a huge event with €100 prize money from his own pocket. A lot of people participated and hunted the maps. Most people believed the impersonator, since the tracks he built were really convincing and had the exact same vibe as the old maps. But some people had a doubt in their mind whether it was actually him, since he acted pretty strange at times, like being extremely angry when people spectated on a server instead of driving, even going so far
what the fuck?
as to kicking the spectators, that he couldn't stand it when people
imagine going AFK and he just gets mad at you. Or you're eating something. You want to spectate and you eat something, he gets mad at you. And he bans you.
After he came back, however, the player revealed himself and apologized to the community.
Block mix used in campaign maps. In some maps of the Trackmania Turbo campaign, there is some very obvious usage of block mixing, as you can see trees and rocks clipping out of some turrets. The funny part about this...
I mean, my guy had to build the campaign in like half a year or whatever was that?
Is that you cannot natively block mix in Trackmania Turbo.
Like, how little time did Puppy Chummy have?
The campaign is full of it. You can, however, natively block mix in TM2, but its campaigns show little to no
True, actually.
Virtual
about a year, okay.
Or ads. Many of the scenery blocks in Trackmania have advertisements for Virtual Skipper, a sailing game made by Nadeo.
Yeah, it's insane.
Before Trackmania.
Virtual Skipper.
Games. The latest installment, called Virtual Skipper Online, was released
Let's play some Virtual Skipper, guys.
Dupe times on 88. For an unknown reason, in Trackmania Turbo's map 88, there are a dozen of duplicate times which makes it into the PC top 10, all ending with the digit 666. These times have never been removed and no other tracks has shown anything similar. 666. To put this into perspective, 3 or 4 way ties are extremely uncommon for top 10 times, only happening once or twice per campaign. These times come from a myriad of regions, almost confirming that they are, in fact, real runs. But a 12 way ties seems extremely probable. Best bet is demonic interventions. It also seems that a 41.552 is very common on that map. More on that later.
Uberbug on flat land. With how the Uberbug works, you may think that the car needs to collide with a wall to do this trick. However, by doing a very powerful bug slide with a particular angle, it is possible to get the Uberbug even on a flat surface. This happens due to the car slightly clipping inside the surface with its back wheel for a small amount of time, like a classic Uber does on a wall.
I did never think of that you actually clip inside here.
Wheel for a small amount of time, like a classic Uber does on a wall. Clipping it
like wow.
Inside the surface
never thought about that.
For a small amount of time, like a classic Uber does on a wall.
Interesting.
Blue ground mapping bug. In TMNF and TM2, there are blocks that, when placed, turn the grass below it into a blue surface similar to normal road. When you place a corner of this block set and place a ceiling on top of it, the blue ground extends outside of the walls. When this map is validated, the blue surface is there, but when you or someone else later opens the validated map, the blue ground is changed back to grass. Because the car's acceleration on grass is much lower than on the blue surface, this is an easy way to set impossible author times or to validate
imagine we had that in the new game with the AT hunt.
Map styles in Trackmania Turbo and TM2. You are all probably familiar with the names AO1 Race, A12 Speed, EO5 Endurance from TMNF, which is the only game where map names have this little extension describing the style of the map. In TM2, a regular pattern of map styles can be observed and has also been confirmed by the mapper. Discovery, Speed, Obstacle, Tech, and Multilab.
Yeah.
A similar pattern.
I mean, I knew about the Multilab.
Discovery, Speed, Obstacle, Tech.
Wow.
And Multilab. A similar pattern can be seen in Trackmania Turbo, which is confirmed by the game's file. All the number 1 tracks are Discovery, then Speed, then Show Off, Tech, Multilab, Discovery, Speed, Show Off again, with the exception of 128, which is Speed, Speed Tech, and Multilab.
Speed Tech, dude. Let's build a Speed Tech belly map, dude. Goes on Iceberg. Okay, fake Trackmania game. Ah, yeah. I mean, this is normal because the uphill did an SD. Oh, this one is interesting. This one is super interesting. I'm not gonna give it away.
We are diving really deep into the game's lore, and yet we still haven't reached the last
Monsi 2?
level. Only unknown, creepy, or strange oddities remains this deep.
Trackmania 2 Lagoon before Trackmania Turbo. Trackmania 2
Lagoon
was released the year after Trackmania Turbo did, but due to the nature of the Super Solo campaign in Trackmania Turbo, a build was needed to be made that was compatible with Mania Planet so that pros could drive.
So we're gonna stop before Monsi because then Magi will do the dingsbums.
STM replays were all driven in Trackmania 2 and known in the actual Trackmania Turbo game.
Why is that real?
Fake Trackmania game. If you search for Trackmania online around the mid-2010s, you would stumble across a game called Track Racing.
I am so fucking
This is a counterfeit version of Trackmania Nations Forever, created by Brutal Strike.
It looks like the first version of Minecraft, man.
MBF_ just subscribe. To your web browser. There is also a downloadable version, as well as an Android app. It seems as though the majority of the ripped Trackmania content has been removed due to
Didn't play that. Looks trash. MDF, thanks for the 10-month resub.
Maps within the game.
Halfway.
Truly maxed maps by humans. With the continued development of TAS records, the human world record is usually far behind the TAS, even on short maps like AO5 or A10 and TMNF.
Even A0 is not
but
max,
on some
guys.
of the first ESWC solo tracks, such as A5 and A7, the maps are so simple that they're believed to be truly maxed by humans, with TASs only being able to tie them to the 100.
Dude, I played so often with Terrio back then.
Trackmania 2.
And then he did. Listen, hear me out, guys. Terrio, absolute legend. He really good mini LoL player, also branched out into like tech and mini tech and also Nadeo hunting. We played every day on a mini LoL server, right? And then he just didn't show up anymore. And we had a Skype group with everything like that and stuff like this. And then at some point, like someone was sending in a news article that my guy had a car crash. Like he was like, I think like with 160 against a tree and he survived it, dude. Dude, what the fuck? And I mean, he was also in the stream like at the beginning. He's a really good guy, but I think he still has like some backlash from that. So
there are options.
Terrio, good guy. That's what I wanted to say. He was not sober. He was yeah.
Action keys 1 to 4, just like in Trackmania 2020, except the action key 5, which is missing.
But good guy. Terrio.
However, those buttons don't do anything in this game. These are only useful in Shootmania.
Wasn't this coming out when there was no grip release, which felt like ice? And everyone was like, what the fuck is... Like, I remember playing Trackmania a lot there because there was, there's a Raider Cup at this point.
And are used to rapidly switch between weapons. Given that TM 2020 was based on Mania Planet, Nadeo
but I hope Terrio's fine.
The same buttons for the
Just
game.
Saying that.
This is probably a holdover from when Nadeo were testing new mechanics, which will never be added to Trackmania 2.
Checkpoint times aren't real. For a competitive racing game, you might be under the assumption that, above all else, the timer is king. Trackmania would surprise you. The in-game timer in TM2 games
it's complete drunk.
When it comes to split times. If you're ahead by a few milliseconds, the game often might say you're behind nearly 100. This could be due to an overuse in rounding. Both your time and the goals you race
it's so
can be rounded for the checkpoint split, but
it's so
doesn't explain why some split times can be drastically different. Also, if you cross a checkpoint on the same thousandth as the goals you're racing, the split will display a difference of your race time instead of an even split.
Yeah, Trackmania 2, man.
Obsolete flags and cars. The flags of countries and thus their custom cars in Stadium are not updated. This can show old or obsolete flags for particular countries. One example of this is the flag of Iraq in Nations Forever. The flag changed 3 months before the release of the game, and as a result the new flag appears in the menus.
Unlucky.
Weirdly though, this change is not extended to the country's car, making you unable to drive with the current flag of Iraq. Another example is the solid green flag of Libya. Despite the Libyan flag changing in 2011,
imagine just having a green flag, just green. Kind of badass.
Not changed for the 2013 release of TM2 Stadium. This
just green, just be
some
green.
Cars like Serbia and Montenegro were removed when they became obsolete. As a quick aside, in the original version of the Iceberg posted to Reddit, the picture shown on the right hand side for the shallow depths is not obsolete. This is the extremely obscure flag of the Caribbean community, an alliance of countries in the Caribbean area that's been around since the 70s. Whilst Nadeo did their homework for this flag in ESWC, the general work for the flags is not up to par. In a future video, we will discuss all the found across every Trackmania game.
Good.
Nobody has 597
Yeah, the in-game timer is so drunk in this game.
Under your profile in Trackmania 2, there is a stats tab which displays some interesting stats such as your time playing the game, your reset and finish count.
Was this like I think this was also on Trackmania 2, not on Trackmania 2 but also on the Trackmania Unite. I think it was never accurate, was it?
Etc. However, no time-related stats
I think it was never accurate.
The value above roughly 597 hours. This is because the time is measured in milliseconds and stored as a 32-bit integer. The maximum 32 bits number is a little over 2 billion. Converting to hours gives
how do you find that out, dude?
596.5 hours. Once past this limit, the timer will warp to minus 596.5 hours, at which it will start to climb up again.
Oh my god.
AO1 no SD world record uses SD. This is referring to the fact that the current
uphill.
no SD world record on AO1 does a small SD on the final uphill of
this
the map.
one.
Despite the category, this
have you guys spotted it?
The map should be does a small
again. There was
SD on the final uphill of the map. Despite the category, this suggesting the map should be driven without
Mime guy.
This category was rather intended to be driven without the S4D, and it probably should be called AO1 no S4D.
Speed for drift.
Platform author times. The platform mode is a game mode where you need to complete the track with the least amount of
goes in the hole like this.
It is the only official game mode where you cannot obtain an author medal. Instead, beating the number of
only
respawns the author did in validation will only give you a gold medal. If you look into the map's file, you will find an author time and a number of respawns. For example, Platform E's author time is 7
What?
7 minutes, 26 seconds, and 13 thousandths. This strongly suggests...
What did they do? Did they go to coffee break or what?
Suggests that Nadeo respawn more than once, since the map is about 3 minutes with a normal run. Since the number of respawns for bronze, silver, and gold are always the same, it is very likely that Nadeo themselves have not finished all the maps without respawning, and instead put in the medals manually.
Sunspinx new.
Sunspinx new, guys. So, he had some cheated runs that were very old. I think it was, I'm not sure it was in the report, but he was aware. And I was also aware.
Sunspinx was a former TMNF cheater who entered called out riolu and techno for cheating.
But he spoke about it. I mean, I remember that one moment where I was like, yo, I spoke to riolu. We met up in Dortmund, like I think, I don't know, like 3 years ago or whatever. And I said to him, yo, you can slow down the game. You can do this. And he was like, oh, you can do that? I was like, yeah, this is possible. I still remember that. And he didn't tell me there.
TMX map
oh my god. I literally told him because I was able to, like I also did, like I had some cheaters records, but they weren't like obsolete. They were like top 50 times. I just messed around with it like, I think twice.
But back in 2015. At the time, no input extraction methods had yet been discovered.
I remember that.
He probably didn't say that as a joke, since during the cheating scandal, Nadeo found out that Sunspinx cheated on at least one of his runs by slowing down the game. Besides, his accusation started after he drove the cheated
looks better than my coast run though, that was cheated.
Run, which was uploaded in late 2008. So maybe he called them out.
Dude, late 2008. Wow.
From his experience.
Slurs in Nadeo tutorials. Within the contents of an official Nadeo tutorial for creating custom stickers lies an unexpected little slur. 2011 was a different time, I suppose.
Monthly environments. This is referring to a 2010 forum post from the time Mania Planet was released, where Hylis announced that it would see a new environment every 3 months.
What?
Cycling through Trackmania, Shootmania, and Questmania. Up to 15 environments were expected to be released over the game's lifetime.
15?
In reality, however, only 5 environments got released over a 7-year period.
Well.
The countdown animation. Whenever you first load into a map on Trackmania 2, the round start countdown timer is animated in such a way that the digits appear to get bigger as they fade out of view. On all subsequent runs, however, the countdown digits all appear at the same size, without any fading animation. This difference is so subtle that it took even active players years to figure it out.
Dead option. In the skin selection menu in Trackmania 2, pressing the M button will show a menu which allows you to see the car in different conditions. This is mainly used by skin makers, as it's an easy way to reload the car, see the car in the night, see the lights of the car, etc. One of these options is called Dead and shows the car disappear the exact same way as TM 2020 car does when being crushed by royal blocks. In TM 2020, you may also get the dead animation when you disconnect due to packet loss. While this animation is not used in TM2 itself, it is used in Shootmania when killing another character on a car item.
Okay.
riolu 61.
I mean, Lars, well, I'm gonna wake up some talks here.
His replays to give some help to players in the TMTurbo community. However, when people checked his replays on track 61, they found out that one of the replays contained the N-word.
Fake death. In August 2014, a player created a map using the new features added by Nadeo.
I mean, you just let go of your emotions, don't you?
That gives the possibility to players to use mixed mapping. They created a map using that and gave it to their team, at the time saying that this could be a Zerati map. Unfortunately, the player passed away shortly after creating
what?
The map. Fast forward to February 2015 when JeTeHais came back to Trackmania announcing the return of the Zerati Trackmania Cup. He asked the community to send him maps to be part of the official map pack of the cup. As an homage to
Marius was speaking about that too.
The team sent the map to JeTeHais telling him that the player will have loved to be part of the cup, and JeTeHais accepted.
Also, here's the video, by the way.
During the final of the cup. However, it turned out that the player faked their death. The team then told JeTeHais, who erased the map from the cup's history, and he even deleted the VOD of him discussing the map. The player got banned from the cup.
He got banned.
201 STMs.
If you make use of the next map option from the in-game menu, the medal times that will load on the next map will be the times from the previous map. If you then manage to beat these glitched STM, gold, silver or bronze times, you will be rewarded an extra medal. This is how you can get 201 Super Trackmasters. It is worth mentioning that the medal is reset back to normal once you leave the map.
Nadeo accused of moral harassment.
This was at the This was the time with the open letter, wasn't it? Like, shit was going down for Nadeo at this point.
In September of 2020, Nadeo studio head Florent Castelnerac, aka Hylis, was accused of inappropriate workplace conduct by the French union.
It was also when the open letter was released.
In the prior months, this union made a call on Twitter asking for workers to come forward with any claims of harassment in the workplace. Dozens responded,
pretty scary, actually.
And according to the union, those accounts were credible enough to call for Hylis' dismissal. One worker was quoted as saying, "A colleague was yelled at for 20 minutes. It's lynching in public." Another, 80% of your work is to be put in the trash. If I wanted to look at something good, I won't come to see you. Once even said, "You will cry the first few times," referring to interactions with Hylis in the workplace. In the following year, It was reported by multiple outlets that Ubisoft, and by extension Nadeo, had made minimal internal changes addressing the allegations, mostly half days of mandatory training. As of 2023, there have been no further developments outside of some small drama back in April where a mysterious user attempted to remove the controversy from Nadeo's Wikipedia page.
09 STM is lost. When Trackmania Turbo came out, the infamous player riolu uploaded every single STM run to YouTube. Shortly after, he shared all the replays with the community except one. In fact, he lost the replay of the STM on map 09, so we only have
XDD sorry. Yeah, good job.
Have access to the video but not the replay file and all the information it contains, such as CP splits and inputs.
Yo, now what's up, mate?
Monsi.
I am so fucking happy! Let's go! Yes, man! Let's go!
Varbas just subscribed. Month 14 of me forgetting to press the unsub button. Oh, whoa, thanks for streaming. It helped me a lot, hugs.
Yo, thank you very much, Vabus, for the 14-month resub. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. I know we all go through a tough time. But Magi right now cooking the map. I mean, this is a pretty long thing and I want to react to all of it. So I think we're gonna watch the last part of it after the Magi Monday. So we have to unfortunately split it into 2 parts. But there's a backwards map at Magi Mondays coming up now, which I can perform really well on. But thank you very much, Babus, for the 14-month resub. I really appreciate that. So so we're gonna watch that after that. So we still have some stuff here. What the fuck is this? Ah, well. Okay, but I hope that is fine for you guys. So we're gonna go on a small break and then play the Magi Monday. But this one is that the. Are there any... there are some good ones. Gambia and Turbo. Wait, what the fuck are those things? Both Olympic... Wait, what is this? What the fuck is that? Okay, well, and never mind. We gotta go into that one after. Okay, but, well, I also have seen... huge shout out, of course, to the boys, but look at that. Watching with the boys here. Thank you very much for that. That is awesome to see. So Loupphok just sent me that they are watching the reaction here. So guys, hey, like to the whole like Solid Trees Discord community, I mean also like the whole Canyon community and everyone who's in there, you can also see them here. Huge shout out to you guys. I remember that Forever was asking me about some stuff and I also was interested in the Iceberg, but it's so time consuming. So insane that you guys actually did that and that we're now having part 3. I enjoyed all videos of that, so make sure to check it out. I'm sending it in again, so leave some love there. Like the video, subscribe to Loupphok, who also uploaded this video here. So you can see I'm, well, I actually watched most of the videos. Well, why is it not showing? Listen, why is it not showing? I definitely watched those. So, there you go. 25k words. Yeah, not real Loupphok enjoyer. Yeah, well, guys, I also have a clip channel where I watch videos on. No, like for real, thank you so much. Take a look onto the video. We're gonna play the Magi Monday now and we're gonna react to the second part of it after that. So, thank you guys for doing that. Anyways, let's continue to watch the Iceberg. Let's do that. Let's continue to watch the Iceberg here. Nothing I can do to that. But, it is what it is. So maybe someone can change the title from the mods. Let's continue to watch it and maybe play some matchmaking. So we have now Monsi coming up. Let's see. Let's see, guys.
Monsi is probably the most mysterious Trackmania player of all time. He started playing RPG in 2012 and quickly became one of the best RPG players ever, but suddenly retired and became a full-time spectator. He spent hours in spectator mode on a server called Skill RPG, and he wasn't even AFK. He was actually spectating the people and was active in chat. He has 12,500 hours on that server. That's 520 days on one Trackmania server. The only time he would drive is when a new map got added to the server. While he was spectating, he would always help the players and give them tips on how to improve on the map. Even after all the years that Monsi has been active, nobody knows anything personal about him. If you asked him anything even remotely personal, he would always respond with NA. You asked him about his age? NA. You asked him how his day was? NA. You were basically unable to get an answer if it was something about him. He also used to only talk in /PM or with a slash in front of the message.
So because then you don't get it in the chat log. Yeah, the classic.
His messages would not appear in public chat logs. There was also an account supposedly stalking Monsi called Elisabeth Neumeier. Monsi would...
Now it's getting weird. What the fuck, dude?
Talk normally in chat, but whenever that account joined the server, he started writing in /PM or just left the server completely. Elisabeth Neumeier never talked in chat. The account would only join servers where Monsi was playing. Monsi also had this passive-aggressive behavior, where he would
Taiwan?
seem rude when talking about literally anything. There was also drama between Monsi and the skill RPG owner, Dave. Dave claimed that Monsi tried to DDoS the server and ended up blacklisting Monsi.
The server was targeted by targeted attacks. Multiple times, DDoS, something like that. I was able to isolate one individual that's behind this. Rip Monsi.
While all of this is weird already, now comes the weirdest thing. In early 2020, a Trackmania player called Christina started regularly playing on RPG servers, and that's when Monsi and Christina met. They started talking a lot. At first it was normal, but things got weirder and weirder as time went on. They started being AFK on the server 24/7, with their cars facing each other at random spots around the map. At some point, Monsi and Christina even ended up creating a half language. Basically English, but they had their own made up words that nobody apart from them understood. And that's how they communicated. They were active every day until suddenly, on the 21st December 2020, they connected to the game for the last time, and then vanished forever. They both 2020, they connected to the game for the last time, and then vanished forever. They both left the server at the exact same second, roughly 5
Internet failure.
minutes to midnight. Nobody has had contact with them since. Christina went on to cut contact with every Trackmania player. There's a lot of theories about Monsi. He could be the second account of a former best Russian RPG player called Realize2. Realize2 was very active but suddenly disappeared on the 4th March 2012. Monsi set his first RPG record.
What was Christina's Twitch name again? Does anyone know?
8 days later.
Was it Christina _GR?
Didn't leave at all and is hiding in the shadows, even watching this video.
She was MVP here, but that's VIP here, but that's the only VIP that I removed. And that also has reasons that I'm come into in a second.
In the chat if you're here, Monsi.
Trackmania 2000.
Okay, so Christina. Okay, some stories about that. Christina used to watch my stream quite a little bit as well back then. And everything was a bit weird at some point. Because, you know, I have had a girlfriend at this point and, you know, I just streamed and all that. So everything was fine. And, well, I don't know. She was just watching and she also was supportive. She was subscribed here and she also chatted a lot. So I just VIP'd her here as well. Yeah. At some point, I don't know, she added me on Steam. I was like, okay, you know, I can accept her. It's fine. Then I think she also added me on Discord. I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Facebook. I was like, yeah, well, I don't know you that much, but you know, everything is okay. Then also Instagram. Things were a bit weird. And I just told her, yo, listen, I have a girlfriend. Listen, you know? And, well, then I kind of cut contact with her. I also streamed with my ex-girlfriend back then, and she also asked weird questions like, when will you get married? When will you get your first kids? We were like 19 or 20 back then, which was super weird. And also, now comes the tip of the ice, like the cherry on top. We had a Trackmania meetup. With the boys. With riolu, with Lars, with Ozone. Christina was also there. Birkin was also there. Actually, fun fact. Yeah? And Christina... that was the day where I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. That was 2019. So like 4 years ago. the day before, like, I think we met up twice. No, we met up twice with everyone. True. There was like the one time on Christmas. Wait. I'm mixing things around. Christina was also there. I think that was end of 20... Was that end of 2019? Wait, when did the Dingsbums happen here? 2020. I think at the end of 2019, we played pool and all of that stuff with the boys, but there was also this meetup. Riolu can be a nice guy. So, whereas everyone was, you know, having a good time, Christina stayed 1 day longer there. And I, of course, didn't feel good because I broke up with my girlfriend at this time. And Riolu was so nice because Christina stayed 1 day longer there that they met up. Riolu and Christina met up in Dortmund at the Phoenix Day or whatever that was. Dude, and Riolu just told his whole story, his whole life story and everything, and Christina was like, yeah. And I was texting with Riolu at this time, I was like, dude, get me out of here. She is so boring and all of this. Dude, it was insane. He just told so much stuff, and she was only like listening and did nothing. But I don't know, like Christina always gave me weird vibes. She was a cool person, but this is some real weird shit here from Monsi and Christina. I don't know. It could also be that Christina is that person, but she was bad in Trackmania, so, well. But I still want to know what Christina's Twitch is. I still want to know that, guys. Anyone knows that?
Right now. Type 1 in chat if you're here, Monsi.
What was Christina's Twitch? Was it with... Wait a second. We can maybe find it out like this. Wait a second. If we go here, and then we go into chat stats. Maybe there. Reality. That's okay. Santos. Can't you figure that out here? Did I already not see it? It's the old VIPs. I mean, I un-VIP'd her because she gave me weird vibes. Even Apnea's here. It's not there. Well. But I don't know, Christina, like, there was this one moment where we were at Mediamarkt. And I don't know, she just took a random picture of me. Like, without asking, I was like, yo, why? Why are you taking a picture of me? It was so weird, like, I don't know. I was like, yo, please stop that, you know? Just ask me before, but just don't take pictures of me when it was just a weird champ moment in this way. I think it was 2019. So Trackmania 1 year later, she vanished.
2006 World Cup final footage is lost. The first Trackmania World Cup happened at ESWC in 2006 in Paris. Even if we have screenshots of the events with the results, the actual footage of the final seems to be...
Yeah, guys, what about the, I don't know,
lost since
1997 final?
There are, however, a couple of leads towards footage of the final. First, someone in Eric Oldal's comment sections claimed that they have the recorded footage on their hard drive, but never answered Eric's PM. And secondly, while he's researching for the iceberg, we found a video on Dailymotion that is a camera recording of the giant screen that shows the final round of the final. But the video bugged out and is inaccessible to this day. We asked the Dailymotion staff and they say that they couldn't do anything about it. So maybe we lost the last piece of footage of the final, 17 years after this happened. If you happen to know where we can find any footage of this final, please contact...
Yeah, Chris, schade. Wait, I think someone chatted here. Turbo Alt 4, that's true. I pressed Alt 4.
Contact me on Discord or in the comment section. It will be sad if this piece of history was lost forever. Trackmania 2 Communities Auto-Moderation. When the cheating report was published, players from all games obviously wanted the cheated records to be removed. While this did happen for TMUF after a few weeks, it took dozens of requests and about 6 months for Nadeo to only partially do the same in Trackmania 2. This, in combination with new cheaters showing up, caused the community to become increasingly exhausted and frustrated with Nadeo not taking any actions. Unhappy with Nadeo's lack of handling of cheated records, the community set out to find a way to moderate the leaderboards themselves. As it turns out, Trackmania 2 does actually have an...
Guys, how more dang will it get?
Very bad. Trackmania 2 does actually have an anti-cheat. It's just very bad. Although unable to detect records driven in slow motion or with modified lap count, what it does flag as cheated records are physics change, teleporting, and not to forget pausing. By using one of these anti-cheat triggers on a PB run, a previously cheated record can be overwritten. On a next daily anti-cheat scan, this results in
what was that grip from that guy?
New cheated runs being removed. After this was discovered, a discussion took place in one of the biggest Trackmania 2 hunting solo Discord, where most, if not all, the top 10 solo hunters reside. The question was asked whether people would want such a solution to be implemented or used. The majority of the players agreed on the method being used. To avoid explaining how to cheat to cheaters, MIB12 was the sole person with access to a tool that could easily invalidate times. This requires cheaters to admit to their mistakes and hand over their login information to MIB so it could remove the cheated records. Removing the cheated runs thus happened with full consent of the cheaters. As controversial as this solution may seem, this made everyone happy because the community could play on way cleaner leaderboards, self-reported cheaters got their past mistake erased, and no one was losing points to cheated runs. After a personal change, Nadeo was more open to the community's request of managing the leaderboards in Trackmania 2. The community-made method is now no longer used to manage the leaderboards.
Okay.
This is the end of the shallow depth, but before we discuss the last layer of the iceberg, let's mark a brief pause by talking.
Taiwan is under China in the region select. Yeah, we had that question at some point. That is also true.
About some additional information.
This one,
during
what the
research
fuck?
For this whole iceberg, we found and also received from the community some additional facts to add. We decided to create a honorable mentions category that regroups pretty much all this extra information. These facts aren't in any order, nor they aren't especially hidden information, so sit back and enjoy this bonus shot of Trackmania lore. In Trackmania 2, you can see your offline session time by retiring. When you retire, you see for 2 frames your session time, and by mashing your retire button, you can barely see it.
Banger song.
Again, in Trackmania 2, if you retire the exact moment you cross the finish line, the game will make you exit the map and return to the menu instead of showing you the time or just make you retire. The official club for Nadeo's employees in Trackmania 2020 is named Nando. By looking at the game's code, the player Ansgar found a scrap of code suggesting that
Ansgar finds everything, man. Listen.
B was planned for TM 2020.
What he also always knows, it's insane.
For now, isn't used in the game. During the alpha phase, streamers were able to show the game before the release, and we can see on the track of the day picture a tiny logo of the football club on the background. During the first Trackmania Grand League competition in 2019, the servers were called TMCL for Trackmania Champions League. This name was the original name of Trackmania Grand League that maybe got changed for legal reasons? Who knows? In Trackmania 2, all maps have a flag next to the name.
Now we have Challenger League, also TMCL.
What the country of the map builder is. Nadeo maps show a world map here, except in some rare cases, where the flag shown is the French flag, because, well, Nadeo is French.
True, Nadeo is French, and Nadeo is world.
The maps are represented by a thumbnail. The map files themselves contain a square thumbnail, but only a portion of this is shown in the game itself. Just like every other game in the world, there are some unused assets, and Trackmania is not an exception. We have discussed before about a female driver that wasn't used back when the game got released, but is now part of the game. With Open Planet, you can
morphology
that wasn't used back when the game got released, but is now part of the game.
Like, this says morphology in English, it's like, what the fuck?
With Open Planet, you can extract games files showing even more unused assets, some of which were clearly temporarily placeholders.
Okay, what is the Twitch though, Techie?
These logos in TMTurbo.
As mentioned in a previous entry, the snow car has an interesting behavior while under the no grip effect. This allows for a whole new way of driving this car with
chat. Hey, where's the things? I just had it open. It showed me 999 plus messages. It showed me 999. Wait, what? Let me go on my. Look. Last message 3rd of March 2020. Okay. The last message was yes, comma, WTF map. Account created 5th of January 2019. That's roughly where I started streaming on Twitch again. Gibt's eine bessere Position, no timeouts? Hast du sicher in meinen Insta-Stories gesehen? So yeah, so the meetup was end of 2019 and the first time I've seen her was middle of 2019. Interesting character. That's what I can tell you.
With many different tricks that can visually look like TM20 but are done very differently. Sadly, this style is only available if you own all 4 TM2 games or if you have Valley and played the TM1 Alpine title pack.
Most Trackmania players are well accustomed to the exchange sites for the various Trackmania games that allow users to upload and share content. In spite of this, most people, including some MX staff, are unaware that for a short period of time, an exchange site existed for TMTurbo. Due to the underwhelming multiplayer features of TMTurbo, implementing an exchange site proved difficult and the site was shut down within 6 months of release. Sheer lack of interest in the offshoot title definitely didn't help. Currently, turbo record keeping is relegated to those willing to maintain mostly manual leaderboards such as the TMT spreadsheet and Marcel's webpage.
It's so sad.
Maybe is a Trackmania 2 player that overuses the horns to the point that some of the runs he drives are barely watchable. He has even used a script that spams the horn during the entire run.
Why?
The best example of this is his EO5 value world record. In Trackmania Nation, however, there is a file that contains all translated words used in the game. If your game is another language, let's say French, then the game checks every word present in the file and translates it. And this includes even nicknames. As a result, if your game is in French and someone's named themselves the exact way a word is written in the file, for example editors, then their name will be shown as éditeur, the French translation of editors.
I didn't know that.
The rise of TASes in the recent years showed really crazy tricks that can only be possible with the help of the TAS tool. Tricks such as the nose boost, but also the turtle Uberbug, the freewheel skip using one wheel of the ram of the freewheel block, all the start tricks in Stadium, Island and Snow, the list goes on. In Shootmania 2, if you do a PB on a solo map, there is a screen that shows you a skill point gain. However, if you lose points by being bitten from the moment you launch the track and you get get a new PB and win fewer points that you lost, then you trigger a rare situation that shows your SP gain, and it shows the animation as you lose points.
Dude, you have to use the PQ formula, dude.
Very rarely, Nadeo use custom blocks on their solo maps. For example, the freewheel block in Trackmania 2 Stadium DO4 don't contain the signs on the side, or D12 using a variant not present in a set of blocks. While editing part 2 of the Iceberg, we wanted to use footage of a bug that made some blocks dry through, especially...
Dude, the dog is barking so aggressive. What the fuck?
In the map AO4 in Kenya. However, we couldn't find any replays or video of the bug, so we tried to replicate the bug by playing against a run that was driven in all physics. But when finishing the run, Mifsua's run actually counted and was sent to the leaderboard, crushing his own world record. This faulty world record got deleted since. But that was pretty funny. Maybe not for me though.
Dude, dude, I remember I was at Birkin's place, and my guy played. We played solo mode, and I don't know. We were a bit drunk, and he started building in puzzle mode with unlimiter, like in the normal puzzle mode, and then he finished a run official and got a world record there. I was like, yeah, maybe you do that, maybe not, but I think he almost got banned there. Oh my god.
If you check Trackmania United's Forever's leaderboards, you can find some strange accounts.
Riolu, 92 Bob.
For example, if you check the Nigerian leaderboards, you will find a dozen account codes.
Yeah, those are for coppers. People create those accounts for copper farming.
Over 9,000.
How was this guy called? Only Jesus Christus saves me or whatever. Or like he had that in all other languages.
All the top 10 of these accounts are the exact same, seemingly belonging to the same player. There are also many accounts called only
Yes, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Christ saves you.
Yes, in all the languages.
Many languages across many countries.
Yes.
We are diving
Jesus Christus rettet.
Really deep into the game's lore, and finally, we have
That's
touched
why I'm
the
laughing.
bottom. Only unknown, creepy...
Jesus, if you're watching, in-game.
Oddities remains this deep.
Taiwan is under China in the region select menu. Despite functioning as an independent state,
Casper's voice.
Taiwan, also known as the Republic of China, is under the China region in the region select menus of Trackmania. This might be...
I mean, they're under China, right?
Since the country that Nadeo is from, France,
does
now recognize Taiwan's independence from China. Similarly, Hong Kong is also considered part of China in some menus. Additionally, in older games, it is impossible to select certain countries like Sudan, Barbados, and Moldova, despite them being fully recognized countries at the game's release.
Gambia leaderboards. While researching the duplicate times on TMTurbo map 88, the leaderboards in Gambia turned out to be even more interesting. There were not just a handful of duplicate times there, but hundreds, filling up the entire top 1000 that can be retrieved. Even more interestingly, this turned out to be the case not just on 88, but on every map until 164, after which the leaderboards are suddenly completely empty. Looking at the actual players on the Gambia leaderboard, there are about 2,000 players with a seemingly randomly generated username, all with the same overall rank of 10,568. While Turbo's unfortunate leaderboard system does not allow for directly linking public records with accounts, the logical conclusion is that all these accounts have the exact same times on all of those maps. After some further digging, more duplicate times and accounts in other countries were found as well, although this time with more normal looking usernames. In total, they add up to an estimate of almost 3,000 accounts, all with the same times and overall rank. The question then is, why? In the original case of map 88, the duplicate times can still be attributed to chance, even though a very small one. Yeah. But for thousands of accounts, there clearly must be something else at play. Some theories are a very odd database bug, bots, hacked accounts, or even some sort of achievement service where people can pay for accounts with a number of medals.
Dude, how far did you think about that? Achievement service. Dude, true, there are those achievements that you get in, I don't know, Trackmania, like in PlayStation or whatever.
Already. None of these theories provide a fully satisfying answer though.
What the fuck?
JeTeHais on TMNF code.
In Trackmania Nations Forever Code, there is a class named CVC6 JeTeHais. JeTeHais is French for I hate you. It is unknown why this class is named like this. The CVC6 prefix is not used in any other classes or function in the game code either. Seems like dev got a bit mad during the development.
Drift in Stadium was intended.
We had that question in stream actually the other day. I had that in mind that it was never intended, but I wasn't 100% sure.
That when Stadium first released with Trackmania Nations ESWC in 2006, the drifting mechanic that is nowadays so commonly used...
Oh, why do you show this replay? Why this one? If Karyan watches this, he will just have nightmares again.
...wasn't even supposed to be a thing. This is supported by the fact that the author meta...
So, Karyan, well, I can show that video in a second.
...ghosts do not drift. A proof to support this is a bench replay from TMN ESWC using beta stadium physics with insane grip, physics extremely similar to the bay environment from Sunrise.
True, that's actually
that you never
very
needed
bay-esque.
to drift to take any corner.
XMPP chats. XMPP, standing for Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol, is a chatting protocol that allows people to talk with each other. It works by having clients connected to servers, which are connected among themselves. This allows people from a server to...
Okay, I'll break for a bit because there's an ad apparently. So guys, you know, if you have a Prime available, use it on whom? I mean, I'm just reacting, so don't use it on me. Well, never mind then. Just gonna wait. Use it on me. Yeah, Scraky, you're not even streaming, man. Are you streaming? Are you a streamer? 6 followers. 1. Why is Scraken gone from I have no idea. Okay, Magi. Okay, well, Ender with a well-good boy. Okay, let's continue.
To send messages to other people from any server if it's properly configured. It can also be used to make private chats by simply not connecting your server to the others. That's what is used in Mania Planet to chat using the Friends menu. However, a little known feature allows you to get your credentials to use them in another XMPP software, such as phone applications like AstroChat. You can then send messages to your friend without even being in-game, and you will appear in-game with a special status once to chat.
All countdowns are different. In Trackmania 2...
That's like how drug dealers communicate. Yeah, let's chat via Trackmania... Let's chat via Mania Planet.
The following games, the 3-2-1 countdown at the start of each race is not the same every time. The time between restarting and go will vary by approximately a tenth of a second. It's assumed that this feature is meant to combat players using simple macros to TAS a run. For example, one could create a script that starts when the restart key is pressed, then wait 3 seconds, and then macro the entire run.
Yeah.
Because the 3 seconds is inconsistent, however, such a script wouldn't work.
I had this theory. Imagine, like, on tournaments, players just use scripts to activate their run, and they don't even play. Imagine that. Aware. Imagine they do that. They just play runs beforehand, script them, and just let the script play now. Wow, imagine.
This was seemingly not the case in the earlier games.
True, Fleece did that. Fleece did that.
Consistent to the frame.
Trees are always watching.
What? Yeah, why so deep?
Century refers to the many types of foliage found around Trackmania maps. Some of these are not 3D modeled, rather they are flat 2-dimensional sprites, which always point towards the player, saving memory and processing power. This is easier to spot in certain environments, such as the shrubbery in Valley and Canyon.
No, I cannot unsee
2D textures, which will always face the player, can be found in many other games, for the same reasons. It does result in the interesting effect that when looking directly down and moving the camera up and down on the sprites, they will instantly spin 180 to face the player.
Wait to dank.
Loading times aren't real.
Loading times on Trackmania 2 are not real. You heard that right. If you try and make use of Cheat Engine and speed up the game during a loading screen, the amount of time the loading takes will actually end up being faster, as well as making the game slower. This means that the loading times in TM2 are partially skippable. The loading times are artificially extended so that everyone regardless of their computer has the same loading time. However, if you accelerate your game, the artificial time added by the game will be shortened, and the minimum loading time will be the time it takes your computer to load the game normally.
Trackmania isn't deterministic.
I mean, we had that in TDC.
Before you freak out, yes, Trackmania is by definition deterministic, but it's not actually perfectly deterministic. On the same map, the same inputs will result in the same run, but you need the exact same map. On some occasions, when you add a random block somewhere else on the map, a place where your car never interacts with it, the same inputs do not result in the same replay. Moreover, when you copy a map and rotate it to face a different direction, the inputs will also stray away from a perfect copy of the last run despite having the exact same inputs. Even actions as arbitrary as moving your mouse on the screen or pressing inputs that aren't even binded can break runs.
Well, wasn't it with the horning and all of that stuff?
On press forward maps entirely. So, while Trackmania is functionally deterministic, it isn't as perfect as you may think.
Post-apocalyptic scenario on my planet and turbo theory. This is a theory first published online by Accursed Farm and Ross Game Dungeon in their review of
What is that thumbnail,
dude? Ross's theory says that there was a group of billionaires who were having a giant midlife crisis. The billionaires built an insane racetrack so they could watch their remote cars do crazy stunts, flips, etc. However, after the mega racetracks were built, an apocalypse swept across the world, leaving their automated robocars racing on these tracks. And this is the end of the iceberg.
Hey, give me that mic. Give me, guys, listen. I'm here to tell you the real lore of Trackmania. Okay, so these games are obviously set in a post-apocalyptic future, with Trackmania Original and the environments in United Forever being the closest to reality compared to the ones that are going to come later. Trackmania itself experienced a global explosion in popularity, especially in the realm of extreme motorsport. As time progresses, things become more and more extreme. This leads to turbo down the line. Now, if you listen closely, you can still faintly hear cheers in the background whenever you start a race. We can assume that these cheers are real and that they're coming from crowds in the same place, that being the wastelands of the world. But if the world is lost, how are we racing? Well, just look at the stadium. The most technologically advanced thing we've ever created. As it was told to us by the game, the engineers found a legal loophole within the laws of gravity that exempted it from such a thing. And who made the stadium? Who made it? Well, based off the signs and the architecture, we can confidently say that the stadium is, or rather was, in Japan. Word of this advancement spreads. More people learn how to ignore gravity, all in the name of Trackmania, all in the name of speed. It's almost like a cult of sorts. First, from Japan, it goes west, spreads to China with Lagoon. Then it travels north a bit, and then into the depths of Russia with Valley, before crossing over the entire European continent, over the Atlantic, and ending up in the Grand Canyon in Arizona, in the United States. Unfortunately, this new technology was a little too successful and caused the atmosphere to drift off into space near these places. And with the vacuum of space being such a threat, the rest of it followed. Oh, so like, soon after.
How did is that in GIMP, dude?
Well, the very water was lifted into the cosmos. This is the apocalypse. Which leads us to Trackmania 2, where the only car left with a driver is the stadium car. Presumably, Japan kept working on their pride and joy of the stadium, and to escape their Icarus of speed, sent the thing into outer space. That's why there's no skyline anymore. There's no hills, there's no valleys, there's no villages, there's no beaches. Oh, but how can the drivers survive, you ask? Well, the stadium drivers are actually just wearing a highly advanced spacesuit that looks like a racing suit. And the other environments, those are AI controlled, the scale of Trackmania became too much to reasonably expect people to drive these tracks. So AI, artificial intelligence, was developed and set to roam free in these areas, constantly improving little bits at a time. The vegetation, it's all fake. It's strong enough to stop these cars in an instant. Despite them going hundreds of kilometers an hour, it's gotta be made of something extremely strong. Vibranium or something, I guess. I don't know exactly. And the water in each game is some oily substance made by, I don't know, an AI that's gone rogue. It doesn't behave like water. It looks like it, but the properties entirely different. I mean, even the currency, the main currency is called planets. Planets. In such a post-apocalyptic world, it's obvious why that would be the case. And you know that I'm right, because even Hylas tried to buy my silence, and it didn't work. Hylas. Even Hylas tried to buy my silence, and it didn't work. I know the real lore, and now you do too. Trackmania was never just a racing game. It's the apocalypse where there's no earth and no atmosphere, with thousands of cars racing on ancient, disheveled tracks. I've got more details in the description if you're intrigued, and I'm still not done. There's still more out there, and I will uncover it.
Well, as he just said, there is in fact more to uncover because, well, I lied when I said it was the last layer. Let me introduce you to the truly last layer, and for real this time. Welcome
the vibes, the void. What the fuck is this here? Like, what are those signs, man? Very few people know what's inside this layer. Let's see if you know something. Pulse champ?
Before going any further, let's do a small disclaimer. Everything shown here has been validated by trustworthy sources on a matter who will rename anonymous.
You don't know anything from this layer? Let's see.
Trackmania Sunrise NVIDIA trailer.
Yeah, probably not.
This trailer was shown at a convention in March 2005 to promote the game and NVIDIA's graphic cards. The original footage wasn't published and seemed lost.
Dude, this fucking fly here.
Years.
Bro.
Until now.
Hey! What a song, dude. I got the fly. Could have chat arena ping? Wait, what? Huh?
Shootmania Gothic.
What did we write? Wait, what? Huh? I don't know.
Shootmania Gothic was one of the first Shootmania games Nadeo worked on back in 2008. The game was just a concept that in the end was reused to create the first released Shootmania game called Storm in 2013. Shootmania Gothic looked like Storm's castle scenery, but with a more gothic architectural style.
That's kind of cool.
Trackmania Nation Forever beta versions.
I mean, I know that
of
probably.
Nation Forever give yet another insight into the development of the Trackmania games. The beta maps have been released a few months ago by
that's what I know.
But there are several other small differences such as thumbnails, map names, and other graphics. The beta versions and
the time way better, no? Wow, okay, that menu is kind of wacky.
Pre-release candidates bridging the gap to the game we know are available for download if you are curious in the description. Stadium car alpha models.
That's getting tanked.
These screenshots show some early version of the stadium car
how does this
from
look?
2005.
Looks like a bobsleigh car.
Lack of spoilers, a more spherical body, and wonky wheels, as well as previous iteration of some car skin.
Wow.
A manual recreation
this
of
looks
this model.
so
The
weird.
beta physics was made
Imagine
by
the car would have
Master,
been like it.
although the download and accompanying video and tweet have been deleted since for unknown reason.
Yeah. 2020 car looks alright actually.
Open stadium. The same screenshots also show an open stadium and some work-in-progress blocks, such as an arc-shaped checkpoint, blue loopings, and massive Rennstein.
Oh my god.
Also, what the hell is that thing in the background?
Those are the spectator blocks! Spectator blocks, you know, those connecting things.
One of the pictures.
Spectating booths.
Block clip editor. While the in-game mesh modeler
I hardly know things from there actually.
It is not possible to edit the clips connecting blocks to each other. This 2016 version of the mesh modeler shows that this feature could actually have been included.
Actually.
But never was.
Well, I'm too inexperienced in the map editor.
Trackmania Nation Forever experimental Formula 1 blocks.
What the fuck?
These blocks were part of a potential update to Trackmania.
I mean, I know that there was this valley map. Like the moment when people experimented with that. That was like one of the first riolu streams that I watched where he played the notch life of things.
2008. While these more realistic GP
that looks kind of cool, no?
Stadium game, similar looking blocks appeared later
kind of cool.
in Trackmania 2 Canyon.
Really nice.
Trackmania and Hot Wheels crossover. Back in 2016, Hot Wheels asked several game studios to develop a racing game which featured their toy cars. These very high resolution map thumbnails suggest that Nadeo tried their hand at this request, integrating a Hot Wheels-like track into the valley environment. In the end, Hot Wheels collaborated
that looks cool actually. Those blocks looking really cool. Reminds me of not wood, but
into the valley environment.
Looking nice.
In the end, Hot Wheels collaborated with Forza Horizon 3. And Nadeo never commented on the matter.
I mean, you can just create that.
It's actually finished. You have made it to the ocean floor with the crushing weight of all this information on your shoulders.
Oh. Kind of cool video, no?
And now,
wow.
we're in part 4, you might say.
Hey.
Well, I will release a full
guys, get some drinks in the chat.
That will contain all the corrected parts of this trilogy in one big video.
What a great video.
But I don't know when yet. That being said, thank you for watching this
thank you for the video, man.
As always, if you have any question, feel free to ask them in the comments. We'll be here to answer you. Feel free to subscribe to not miss the next project planned for this channel. Thanks again for all the support through the last year with this project. We are truly blessed by everyone who watched, shared, talked about, reacted to,
Take a look into the video.
This project couldn't be done without you. We also really appreciate all the people who gave their voice and time into the project, and more importantly, all the Iceberg crew. See you in the next one and have a great day.
Yeah, like the video, subscribe, comment. Yeah, there you can see the shoutouts, the voices in the videos. Very, very good video. Dude, Legion, man. Fuck. Fuck me, dude. Look how many people. Also, guys, what happened to La Bomba? He kind of stopped uploading, right? He will be in the next Iceberg or what? Look. The last Trackmania challenge was with me. Wait, fuck. I forgot to be. The last one was with me, wasn't it? Like here? I mean, he does this now, but... La Bomba 2. Look! That's me! Hey! He's getting... Oh, true. I also commented on that video, didn't I? No. Huh? Wait, where do you know that from? Where do you know that from? Wasn't that Flink? Yeah, it was pretty sketchy. His Discord, okay, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, that's fully understandable. But a great video here, guys. Great video. 10 out of 10. It's getting a kill with Flink, yeah. Make sure to like it. Let's see. Did the like counter go up? Hey, good focus, chat. Good focus. Fucking hell, Hedna. Just for the algorithm. If everyone types 1 there, you know, we're gonna boost the algorithm. That's good. But yeah, very, very good video. There's also other parts. I watched part 1 on stream as well. Part 2, I think I didn't. Did I actually watch part 2? Yeah, yeah, okay, I watched it, yeah. Because it says from the start, but I think... Yeah, okay, I watched it, yeah, with the Rally E all the time going through a tree, yeah. I watched it. So I didn't know... I knew a lot, but not a lot, actually. I thought I would know more. Okay, we can also watch the AO1 video, actually. What I would love about the AO1 videos...